This is the story of a boy named Brandon Parker. He loves adventure and he doesn't like sitting still. His mom, dad, and he have been on a plane for almost 18 hours. That's almost a whole day of flying. They left their home in Jacksonville, Florida, and are heading to the Narita International Airport in Japan. Brandon's dad wants him to live there for a few years while he helps the men in Tokyo build some buildings. He says that things are going to be a little different for a while, but they'll get used to it in no time. Brandon thinks he's being silly. How different could Japan actually be? Today will be his first day in his new Japanese school. As they walk along the way, Dad and Brandon talk about how much he's going to like school. He says that though they do things a little differently, he will learn a lot of the same things he started to learn in Jacksonville, as well as a lot of new things. When they get to Jacqui Elementary, Dad turns to him and hands him a black leather backpack. Brandon wonders where his orange and blue gator backpack is. This is the backpack that you're allowed to carry all throughout elementary and middle school. All the boys have the same bag. Girls have red ones, Dad said. He's a little sad that it won't match his new blue shoes, but he goes inside anyway. Brandon sees a bunch of red and black bags on a bunch of kids' backs walking quietly into classrooms off the main hall. Dad walks up to a lady standing by the office. She looks nice. She walks over to Brandon and says, "Hello, Brandon's son. You may call me Takahashi. Sensei means teacher. I think we're going to have a wonderful time together. After you say goodbye to your father, come meet the rest of your class in room 102. She bows as she says goodbye to Richard's son, his dad. Oh man, Brandon forgot to bow to his teacher. He'll try to remember that next time. Hurrying down the hall, he sees bedroom slippers and some shoes by the wall. Brandon wonders who brought their slippers to school. As he walks into the classroom, he remembers to bow. Takahashi-sensei introduced Brandon to the class. He bows again just in case he's supposed to and sits down in his desk. In his place in the back of the room, he notices his classmates' shoes. They're all wearing those slippers he saw in the hall. Why didn't Dad give him a backpack and slippers? Maybe he should go borrow up there, so he can have the same shoes as everyone else, he thinks. Takahashi-sensei, he calls as he raises his hand. Can I go use the bathroom, please? He nods. Out in the hall, he sees the white slippers. He takes off his bright blue and orange Nike sneakers and replaces them with the slippers. They're really comfortable. He kind of wishes they wore slippers at his school in Jacksonville. He walks back to the class with his shoes in his hand, but he thinks he can't just walk back in with them, so he decides to put them in the closet, just like he would at home. There's a closet right outside the classroom door. It only has some brooms, buckets, and mops in it. It's perfect. They'll be safe here. Back in his seat, he's ready to learn. To his delight, they start the day with math. It's called Sudoku here. After Sudoku, it's time for Zuko, which means art. He uses smooth oil pastels on white paper to draw his mom, his dad, and him on the beach in Jacksonville. When he finishes, Sensei hangs his picture on the wall. She said he's a great artist. Then it's time to practice writing. Brandon listens carefully as she explains the 3 ways to write in Japanese. There's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. It'll take some time to learn how to write. He learns a few symbols from each type of writing. Before long, he's getting pretty tired. To Brandon's good fortune, he starts smelling something delicious. It reminds him that he's hungry. As he puts his paper and pen away, a woman comes in with a cart filled with food. He turns to the boy next to him and asks, "Is that food on the cart for us?" "Yes," he replies. "We eat lunch in the classroom. Then we clean up our lunch, clean the whole room, and go home for the day." Brandon sits back in his seat and thinks he likes the sound of that, well, except for the cleaning part. After they finish their ramen and tempura, which is noodles and fried shrimp, Takahashi-sensei tells them it's time for cleaning. He says they need to pack up their belongings while he goes to the storage closet in the hall to get the cleaning supplies. Before they know it, everyone is bowing to Sensei and heading out the door. In the hall, everyone is taking off their slippers and putting on sneakers. Brandon remembers he needs to get his shoes from the closet. Where are his shoes? He digs through the closet and they aren't there. He runs into the empty classroom, looks under the desk, in the art closet, and all the corners. They aren't there either. He just has to find his special sneakers. He walks back into the hall. Maybe someone else brought them into their classroom. So he decided to check the room across the hall. Trying not to be seen, he crawled into the bright fourth-grade classroom. To his surprise, he bumped into a girl hiding under a desk. "Hi, I'm Brandon Parker. Why are you under your desk?" "Yeah. My name is Dr. Midori. We're having an earthquake drill. You have to practice what to do if the room starts to shake from an earthquake. Sometimes you even wear helmets," she said. "Well, that must be scary," Brandon replied. "I'm glad I'm practicing with you. By the way, have you seen a pair of blue and orange sneakers? They're really bright and I can't find them." She says no, and that he should check the gym at the end of the hall. Now he's worried. It's getting late and he still doesn't have his shoes. He follows Midori's advice and runs towards the gym. There are shoes all along the wall. Brandon's shoes have to be in there. As he's scanning the long line of shoes, he feels a tap on his shoulder and turns around. Standing in front of him is a tall, masked, hooded figure. He tries to wave, but the figure catches him. "Hold on there," Brandon hears. "What's going on?" He sees the hooded figure take off their mask. "Excuse me, sir," Brandon bows. "Why are you wearing a mask?" Brandon thinks this is more important than his shoes. But the man explains that he's practicing kendo, which is a martial art which uses swords. Again, he asks Brandon what's going on. "Sir, I've been looking everywhere for my shoes. They are the brightest blue and orange shoes you've ever seen. Have you seen them?" Again, he hears the small, sad word, "No." Disappointed, he walks back into the long hall. He sits against the wall with his hands on his face. "Brandon, son," he hears. "What are you still doing here?" He looked up at his teacher. "I can't go home. I've lost my new shoes. I took them off this morning and put them in the closet over there. I looked after them when we cleaned, but they weren't there. I searched the whole classroom, snuck into another classroom, and even looked in the gym, but they're totally gone." "Oh, Brandon, son, why didn't you look in the shoe cubbies at the front of the school?" she asked. "Well, I didn't put them in there," Brandon replied. "Yes, but I found them in the supply closet at cleanup time," she said. "I put them in a cubby for you." As they walked toward the front of the hall, he could see his sneakers shining like the sun. He thanks his sensei, bows, and walks out the door with his welcome shoes. "Hey, Brandon," he hears his dad call from the sidewalk. "Got a little worried when you didn't come home right after school. How was your day?" As they walk home, he tells Dad about everything. About the things he already knew, the new subjects he learned, and the adventure he took to find his shoes. "Well, sounds like you had an exciting first day," Dad said. "Yeah, but I just don't get it. Why didn't Sensei just tell me to put my shoes in the right place?" Brandon questioned. "Well," Dad said, "it's just another one of the differences between here and back home. In Japan, they know you don't really know how to do everything their way at first, and it's more polite for them to help you do the right thing until you learn, then punish you for not knowing." Yeah. "Wow, Dad," Brandon sighed. "I have a lot to learn about living here, but at least I can help the next new kid find his lost shoes. I know exactly what to do with those." They walk all the way home, spotting all the beautiful differences between their old and new homes.